Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual, as well as creating new systems in the area of finance, government, healthcare, education, new environmental practices, and anything that helps the planet or helps humanity. My name is Addie Halkin. If you think that you have ideas or things to share in any of those areas, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com or type the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I'd be happy to get back with you and potentially have you come on here and share with people what you know. Also, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content or you have an interest in getting alternative information out to more people. Today, I really want to give a huge shout out to humanity. I'm talking about all you 99 percenters. I'm talking about you people that are decently well intended. You have compassion, you have empathy, and you're simply doing the best that you can. Thank you. I don't think it's any kind of a secret that the last year and a half has been not easy. I mean, it's really not been easy for longer than that, but the last year and a half has been particularly intense, and it depends on what you believe. It depends on who you're listening to, but I can only come from my perspective. But here's what I know, and here's what I've learned, especially within the last year and a half or so. That has to do with the fact that we are now waking up to some very uncomfortable truths. And there's a lot of whistleblowers that are being really brave, and they're coming out and they're blowing secrets wide open. And I'm really thankful for them because they're taking a lot of heat. Some of them are having their lives threatened to do it. But, you know, it's a beautiful thing when humanity starts to see clearly. And that's what's happening. And it's not easy and it's not comfortable. You know, for me personally, I understand. I think there's at least a billion of us at this point in time now that understand this, but I understand that, we came into a world that has been lying to us since we got here. Really ultimately what's been happening is that there are some, like a really small group of trillionaires on the planet. They stay in the dark, they hide behind their public figures. Not to say that all those public figures are not dark as well. Some of them are. But what these trillionaires have done is they've hijacked everything. They run all these systems I just spoke of, government, education, uh, healthcare, they've been in charge of a lot of the environmental ways on this planet and on and on. And they also run our media. They write the script for our media. I cannot stress that enough. And so we, we have continued to believe so many of the lies that they've put forth, and they've done a really good job at, like, grabbing the energy of the planet and, putting it to their advantage, basically. And so, as we have, kind of started to wake up, we're realizing that, some really uncomfortable things are coming to light. One of the things that I always bring up is that, there are a lot of little people on this planet that have been harmed. Um, and, unfortunately, we've been funding that with our tax dollars and we didn't know it. And we've been massively deceived about that. Very, very upsetting stuff. A little side note this is just my sense. I don't know if I'm right, but, I'm looking at these ICE trucks right now that are running around picking up people that, like, have certain colors to their skin. I don't know, picking up people that supposedly are illegal immigrants, but, we're aware that a lot of these people are not even illegal and they're being shipped to other countries. But the most upsetting part of that is that there are many stories about children being picked up that don't have adults. And I'm looking at this going, what are they doing with those children? Since we know now who's been funding these trafficking businesses, and we know, who's been behind it. What are the is ICE the new CPS is my question, because, many of us have learned CPS, at least in the past, has been the number one supplier of trafficking. And so upsetting, to say the least. And so, these are the kind of things that are coming out now. And I don't want to hear about, prove it on paper. I don't want to hear it. uh, you know, I'm not going to be doubting the whistleblowers. Now, some of them I do doubt because people are people and some people love to fake things, but um, there's too many whistleblowers that are saying the same thing that feel very authentic to me. Another thing that's, really been coming to light for those of us who are not believing our news channels anymore is that there's weather disasters going on all over the place. And I primarily know about the US, and there are certain areas that continue to get hit with these bizarre weather disasters, these quote unquote natural disasters. North Carolina is obviously one of those, but if you're watching the news, you don't have a clue what's going on. North Carolina was hit by Hurricane Helene. We know that. And then there was all this crap about how FEMA was really helping out, which they weren't. Um, they were not. They were actually blocking efforts. And I have multiple sources on that. I actually know somebody who was in contact with some of the FEMA employees, and those employees were confirming that yes, they were being told not to help, and you know, it is what it is. But it was beyond just not helping. It was, um, specifically blocking efforts for people to get better. I know a lot of people did not receive their $750 payouts. I know a lot of people were approached by the government, I assume FEMA, and they were cut a $2,500 check and told that they are not allowed to rebuild on their land and they just have to take what they're given. So their land was basically stolen from them. Um, but it didn't stop there. Um, some months after, I think 2 or 3 months after the hurricane hit, and the humanity came in and worked their butt off to help these people out. I mean, it was only humanity that was truly helping those up in North Carolina. Uh, Magically, a fire broke out up there in the winter. And so there was that. There was that natural disaster that hit that area. Well, it didn't stop there. Recently, somehow a water line just broke open and flooded the whole area again, taking out people's progress again. And so, you can think this is all just natural disasters. You can think whatever you want. You're never going to convince me of that. Um, you have to understand that those areas up in North Carolina, I think maybe Western Tennessee, things like that, they are very, very, very abundant in quartz. I believe I wrote this down. I believe um, those areas have the most amount of quartz. What did I write down here? Sorry. Um, Mineral rights. Like the people had major mineral rights for quartz up there. It's really, really abundant. It may be the most abundant area for quartz in the whole United States. Um, they use quartz to produce like, electronic products such as computer boards and things like that. That area is also very abundant in lithium, which is used for car batteries. If you think our governments and our shadow governments, meaning, the government behind the government that actually really runs things, if you think that they don't want that stuff and they aren't willing to take out thousands of people to get it, think again. They are. They're that dark. Those running the planet are very, very dark souls. I feel like they're lower dimensional souls. I really do. I don't know, like, if they're even human at this point. Um, and so, that's the kind of thing that we're seeing going on everywhere. And I would say that it's more extreme than I've ever seen. I don't know if that's specific to it being social media, but I have a feeling that what's going on is that the the trillionaires that have been running the planet since the beginning of whenever are getting desperate. They know that we're ascending, they know we're waking up, they know we're starting to take our power back, and they're trying to squeeze every last dime out of us before that happens. I also think that they're trying to stop the ascension process. Waste of time. We've already woken up too much. It's not going to work, but they're on really bad behavior at this point in time. And so many of us are aware of this. And the fact that we are doing so well at not, losing our marbles over this kind of thing is astounding to me. One of the things that you can find on some social media platforms that you just won't find much of on the news is that there are protests all over the world right now that are being recorded live. So you can't dispute these things. And so people are protesting all over the world about our current government here. And I have to say, I have not seen one person like get violent with law enforcement. I haven't seen anyone really lash out. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not seeing that. And so I really want to say thank you to humanity. We're doing it the right way. Um, you know, many years I have spent kind of, asking whoever it is I talk to in my head, kind of asking my spirit team, what do we do about the corruption on this planet? Because I know, I can't speak for you, but for me, it's been really hard on me from the beginning. And every time I've asked that question, I get the same answer. And I hear them say, you take your attention and your business away from them. And I feel like we haven't really fully taken our attention away from them, but I think that we're starting to figure out how to take our business away from those who are, you know, controlling everything and, being tyrannical at this point. Uh, Listen, it's not an easy task that we have right now. We're going through really big changes, and seems like whenever, big changes happen, there's a lot of discomfort, but man, are we handling ourselves correctly. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you. One of the things I want to just let you know about real quick, is that there are some people really coming out there online now, and they're getting very assertive and very strong with organizing humanity, which to me seems like a huge task. It's not an easy thing to do. We're all very kind of busy and tired and whatever, kind of divided about things. But there is one particular guy, his name is John Schwartz. He's got a website called jointhepeoplesunion.com. Apparently you can sign up to be part of the People's Union. I haven't figured that out yet, but the things that he is proposing are, he's talking about on February 28th, we do a 24-hour no spending on in any major corporations blackout. So if you need to buy something that day, you just shop local or something like that, something that's not a big corporation. Then he's proposing March 7th to the 14th, we block out Amazon. And by the way, there are people from, other countries that are wanting to and are going to be participating in this as well. So it's a great thing. I think that, even though we probably have one of the worst situations in America right now, governments in general have proven themselves to be pretty corrupt, and humanity is all over the world starting to wake up to that and take their power back. March 21st to the 28th, he is talking about us boycotting Nestle products. So if you're not familiar with Nestle, they don't have a very good track record. I don't know if it's still going on, but I know at one point they were continuing to purchase cocoa beans from, I believe it was British Columbia, where these businesses they were purchasing from were supporting cruelty with child labor. So they're stealing people's children's from their home and abusing them and making them work and not paying them to pick all these cocoa beans. And Nestle held out the longest. They would not correct, who they were buying from at all. And so it's not a company that's known for any kind of integrity. Plus they pay really low. So I think that's a good one. On April 7th to the 13th, he's asking us to shut down Walmart and Sam's Club by not shopping for there that week. April 19th, again, another 24-hour blackout on all major corporations. April 21st to the 28th, no buying General Mills because they produce toxic cereal. They have overpriced chemical foods. They don't pay well, and they answer to no one. So, I think his theories are that, we need to, a lot of these trillionaires back these companies, they profit big time off these, really nasty companies. And so he's helping us to send a message and realize that we don't have to be slaves to this system anymore. And he wants to send the message to those controlling the planet that we have the power. We make the environment, or excuse me, we make the economy move, and we can shut it down when we want to. And so I love this idea. I think it's the perfect idea. It's peaceful, and it's doing exactly what I think we need to do, which is pull our business away from these, dark souls. And, the thing is that they only speak the language of money. So this is where we hit them. This is where we hit them hard. And so I hope you're interested in joining. I'll leave his information in the description of this video. But keep doing what you're doing. I know it's a tough time. I know that you're going to have days where you probably don't feel very well. Just keep patting yourself on the back and just know that, while things may get tough for a while, still, we're going to get through this. There is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And eventually, all this nightmare that we're going through, it's going to be worth it. So keep your head up. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.